another language. Duolingo!
Look no feather! I'm going to show you how to use Duolingo for schools. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers, and I teach English as an additional language to adults in the community. So today I'm going to show you some other cool stuff that Duolingo has. So today I'm going to talk about Duolingo Stories. Now, not every language has them yet, but hang tight. I'm going to show you a workaround, okay? Stories currently, as of this recording, are available in French, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Italian, Chinese to English, and more languages are rolling out. Oh, also Japanese to English, and hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of the year, we'll have English to Japanese stories, all right? So we're in my tree right here, okay? And up at the top, here's our button for stories. Just click on it and you get to the stories. Now, each story is going to be just a regular colored in story, but when you finish it, it turns golden, okay? And then when you're done with all the stories, Duo's happy with you. And they do keep adding stories very frequently. And a lot of the stories now are following the Project World characters, which are pretty fun. I'll tell you more things you can do with the Project World characters in another episode. So here's the deal though right now is as of this very moment, Duolingo Stories is not connected to assignments in Duolingo for schools. But we all know that reading is one of the very best ways to learn and remember new vocabulary and new grammar. So as much as we can get our kids reading, they'll be more successful. So what I do is I just have my students send me screenshots when they're golden. And that works okay, that works well enough. Now let me direct you to some resources that will help you use Duolingo Stories. So let me take you to the Learn Through Stories landing page in the Duolingo forum. Right up here in the search bar, just type in Learn Through Stories and you'll find this. This is a bunch of supports that my very dear friend Dakanga is spearheading to help educators and enthusiasts use Duolingo Stories. So there are sound files here. There are translations from one language to another that aren't available yet on the main website. There's ideas for how to use the stories in your classroom. There's fandom, wiki stuff like fan-made stories, just a whole bunch of great supports. And definitely scroll down to the bottom where we all talk about it and add our own ideas and everything. And so this is the first place you should go. Now let me show you some other supports that you can do with Duolingo Stories. Additionally, in addition to this wonderful resource that Dakanga has created, there are other enthusiasts on Duolingo who are making interactive unofficial stories. And I just want to show you this. If you are teaching a language that does not have stories associated with it yet, here are a bunch of Duolingo enthusiasts who are going through and making this really, really beautiful website. This is Rondriano, who has made this amazing website. So search for interactive unofficial stories and check it out. Check it, see if your language is represented there. Now, in addition to all of this, there's some other great stuff you can do with Duolingo Stories. Here's some ideas just to help you brainstorm. Sometimes I'll have my students read the story, and then I'll give them one sentence, one question to work with. Okay, here I want them to continue the story with one extra line. The woman is very tired, so what does she do next? Because she's already messed up and put salt in her coffee. What does she do next? And so the students just write any kind of silly line. And frankly, I don't really care about their grammar. I just care that they're experimenting with the language. Sometimes I'll have the students add another character hey, somebody else comes in. Sometimes I'll have them redo a line. I would recommend highly the book Grafted Writing by Eric Richards. He's got a lot of great ideas. Here's another one where I had the students just draw. It's a clothing store, so they're just drawing what a character is wearing, and they get to draw and label. And just very simple stuff, building onto the story that they read and taking their comprehension a little deeper. Of course, you could have your students perform it as a play, have them choose parts and everything. The scripts are all on that website, that forum page that I just showed you. That was Learn Through Stories. Another thing I've done is I've printed the script, also available on Learn Through Stories, and I printed it on cardstock, and then I cut it into strips. And then as I'm doing stations around the room where I have the students go from one station to another, they come to the script and it's all scrambled and they have to put it in order. And then finally, the last thing that I'm experimenting with is there's this wonderful website by another Duolingo enthusiast. This is PeakSay, put out by the people at Fluent Key, and I love this website. I love this so much. So I've started putting in some Duolingo stories here. We've got a game where you create a conversation, or you can search for a conversation that's already existing. So there's a search feature right up here. Search for a conversation, and the students will get to play with the story. Of course, it's text to speech. And then there's a game mode. So it becomes a listening exercise where the students have to predict the next line of the story. And they get to choose their difficulty, if they want to do it as a reading, a listening, or a speaking exercise, and the difficulty that they do. And I absolutely love this website. So these are just some basic ideas you can do with Duolingo Stories. Please go to that page, Learn Through Stories, right here. Add your own ideas or comment on the Educators Forum, and I hope to see you there. Post your questions about pedagogy and how to use Duolingo for schools. Right here, click on that Discuss button that we looked at. Make sure you're in the Educators Forum on the right-hand side. Post your questions, and I or some other very helpful person will answer them for you. And then I also want to make a plug for the Duolingo Educators Network. Once you click here in the Educators Forum, you'll see the sticky, What is the Educator Network? This is honestly the best professional learning community that I belong to. So click there, join up, and I hope to see you there. Thank you very much.
Duolingo. It's the best way for you to learn another language.